Animal Crossing 2026 could have double the amount of items as Animal Crossing New Horizons. In this video, I'll go over the development cycle for Animal Crossing 2026 and what that means for furniture and items in the game. If you guys haven't already, be sure to subscribe. I've been doing daily Nintendo content, and consider becoming a member and support what I do. Thank you. So what got me thinking about this is Nintendo's statement on development cycles and what it means for, game development as a whole. This is from IGN, and their article title is Nintendo's shorter game development cycle is one of the most sensible things they've heard in years. They basically say that the game business has always been a high-risk business, and we recognize that rising development costs are increasing that risk. And then they also say, we also believe it is possible to develop game software with shorter development periods that will still offer consumers a sense of novelty. This also corroborates what they said back in 2021 with the Animal Crossing New Horizon boom, where it says, it's true that our recent growth has stemmed from the need for people to stay at home. Even though Japan's state of emergency is over, people are spending more time at home than before. As games with long lifespans like Animal Crossing become more accepted, we believe this will have a significant impact on future development. We want to provide games that can allow communication between friends and families. So with the combination of these two statements, it sounds like, and this could be a good or a bad thing if you think about it, Nintendo is, I'm not going to say underdeveloping games, but releasing games without all the content and then adding the content in later to prolong its lifespan. We've seen this, I'm not going to say with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but similar to what the Booster Course Pass was, it could be like that. And even with Animal Crossing New Horizons, we didn't get like half the features at launch, and they added some throughout the lifespan of the game to kind of prolong it. And that's what I'm also assuming is going to happen with a lot of the bigger titles with Nintendo Switch 2. Mario Kart World in specific. I think we're all thinking there's going to be a Donkey Kong Bonanza kind of update. What is a little interesting though is that Donkey Kong Bonanza has been in development for 8 years. This was recently stated by a developer Q&A. Right after the team finished up on Mario Odyssey, they immediately started working on Donkey Kong Bonanza. So that was 8 years. Apparently this game was slated for Switch 1, and that'll probably be a topic at another time. But yeah, so what does this mean when it comes to items and furniture in Animal Crossing 2026? First, let's look at what happened in New Horizons to get a kind of estimate on how many items we'd see in the next game. When it came to furniture sets, around 70%, 60 to 70, returned from New Leaf. These numbers are specifically from New Leaf to New Horizons. I do know we missed a lot of stuff from City Folk to New Leaf, and then, Wild World to City Folk and something, and so on and so forth. But these numbers are specifically from New Leaf to New Horizons. So when it comes to furniture sets, about 70% returned and the rest were brand new. Clothing items, 75% were reused, and these are estimates. Tools and DIYs, the items themselves were reused, and I don't believe this actually is true. I had some assistance when making this. I'm assuming it's going to be about closer to 60% of the DIY recipes were reused, and then of course all the tools, some of them are new, and then some of them are reused, like the normal axe and everything like that. I think it's like the well-made axe or something like that. It's been a while. Of course, all the KKA Slider songs return with a few new additions as well. So when looking at the actual furniture launch from New Leaf to New Horizons, it actually took a dip, surprisingly, but this is because New Leaf this number includes the Welcome Amiibo update. And then New Horizons at launch had only about 1,000 different furniture. This isn't including clothing or items like that. This is strictly furniture. Because when I think about this, I'm pretty sure furniture would probably take the most amount of time when it comes to 3D modeling and takes the most amount of effort. Because if you think about Animal Crossing, probably a bulk of their development time is going to be just making items. So at New Leaf, it had about 1,764 items. furniture, and New Horizons at launch had basically 1,002. But with the New Horizons 2.0 update, they added about 1,000 more, ending with 1,997. That drop off from New Leaf to New Horizons actually probably came because they had to remodel everything again. And I have some examples here. Some items that got ported from New Leaf to New Horizons look drastically different, and of course have a different poly count. Of course, they could take the base design of the item and move it over, but they can't actually reuse the item. But when it comes from New Horizons to Animal Crossing 2026, that's a little bit different, but I'll get into that in just a second. So let's look right now. We have the Ranch Tea Table, one of the items that came from New Leaf to New Horizons. This is the New Leaf version, and this is the New Horizons version. Named the exact same, but look drastically different. So this is one of the reasons that, of course, we know that all of these items got remodeled. Not only because of the higher polygon count, because like half of them look completely different, which I'm not complaining. I think they're always gonna have to reuse stuff, and I think it's a good thing that they are, especially if they build upon it. It's kind of like Pokemon. They had the Pokedex, they add more Pokemon, and so on and so forth. Yeah. And again, let me reiterate, the New Horizons furniture items are a bigger polygon count. Let's look at Froggy Chair. We all love Froggy Chair, for example. This is the Froggy Chair from New Leaf, and this is the Froggy Chair from New Horizons. You could tell, of course, more vibrant colors, but you could see less polygons, which means there's a higher polygon count in, of course, the New Horizons. And then we could go look at, these are Ironwood furniture, my favorite furniture set. You could just see the amount of detail that's on these furniture sets in New Horizons is absolutely crazy. And this is why I'm saying this is probably going to take the bulk of its development time. And considering Animal Crossing 2026 probably started development after New Horizons came out, so it's probably been about like 4 to 5 years. That is something to think about. So when people are saying Animal Crossing 2026, I'm tending to believe it, especially if Nintendo wants to cut back on development time. But with 8-year development time, like from Donkey Kong Bonanza, it's a little worrying, but we will have to see. What is the real point of this video? I think Animal Crossing 2026 could come out with at least 2,000 furniture items. They had to remodel items from New Leaf to New Horizons because it was a massive graphical jump in quality. But when it comes to New Horizons to whatever Animal Crossing comes out before, of course, we'd want to see the game in 4K, but all of the furniture items are at a certain quality where they could straight up reuse it. So if they reuse all the models that they have existing in the game, that's already 2,000 furniture items. So considering we had about 1,000 furniture items, or let's just say 250 new furniture items at launch when it came to New Horizons, and then a total of 750 new items when it came afterward of the 2.0 update, I could see that Animal Crossing 2026 could have upwards of 2,000 items at launch, and then maybe 3,000 at the end of the game's life cycle, which is absolutely crazy to think about. And considering if they were to bring DIY recipes back, that'd be a lot of DIY recipes. I think currently in the game, there's 291 plus another 125 for the 2.0. I might be wrong in those numbers, but legitimately, that is crazy. And I would love a random side tangent. I want DIY and crafting back. So if they add closer to 2,000 to 3,000 recipes, I would legitimately, I'm not going to buy all of those from Nook's Cranny, and I'll have to craft some of them. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. How many furniture items are you hoping to be at launch? Do you just stick to one furniture set, or do you absolutely decorate your town? If you guys haven't already, be sure to like this video, become a member. If you haven't, you get some exclusive perks. Anyways, I'm Crafty Step 1. I'll see you guys tomorrow.